Hello and welcome to Origin Problem Solving. In today's video, we're going to go over step 3, break down the problem. In previous videos, we went over step 0, preparation, step 1, perception, and step 2, define our problem. Let's get started with step 3, break down our problem. So in break down our problem, we're taking that whole pie of a problem and we're going to dice it up. And we're going to select one problem at a time. And we're going to solve for the overall problem one slice at a time. And how we do that is, in this case, we took a problem hierarchy tree or a KPI tree. And we said our gap of 26 days. So we took our gap of 26 days and we began breaking it down. And in order to do that, we used data to break it down. So as you can see in this example, we have life days of the felt, and then we have a drop off here, a step change. So we were reaching about 90s, 80s to 90s, and then we dropped down to 60s. So we diced up some of that data and said, okay, the total has been 29% felt tracking, 21% felt tension, 50% felt cleaning. So after the felt becomes dirty, it's changed normally. So 50% of the time it's cleaning. But then we said, let's look at historical and then the past 90 days. Now, historically, the average here is almost always felt cleaning and occasionally felt tracking. But in the past 90 days, we have this felt tension that is snuck up there. So 50% of the time they noticed or was able to track felt tension was too high, and then felt tracking and felt cleaning with some additional issues on some of them. So we took that data and we said, okay, of this 26 days that we're trying to solve of this gap, we have felt tension. 50% of the time we had felt tension issues. We had felt tracking 33% of the time, and we had felt cleaning 17% of the time. And we were able to further break that down and say of felt tracking, so we got some of the operators involved, and they said of that felt tracking, we had one that the paddle was not tracking, then we had a pickup tube issue. And they said this paddle not tracking has been an off and on issue, so we want to tackle that. We also brought in the salesperson for the felt who was tracking the felt tension, and we did a go and see. And he uses a tool to determine what the felt tension is. And normally he checks that before every time we change it. He's been mentioning it lately just because it's been high. The felt tension has been high when he's recorded it. And so that is a big concern of his. So we're going to go after this. We have data that shows that that was a big jump. We hadn't seen it in the past 2 years. We hadn't seen any felt tension issues. But recently, the past 90 days, we've seen quite a bit felt tension issues. So when we pick our problem, we can go after felt tension first, and we'll continue through problem solving, and then we'll come back and say, let's go through paddle not tracking and continue on that way. So this is how we break down the problem, because if we were going to say, a lot of times what we hear is, well, we haven't found that smoking gun yet, or we want to solve for that one easy fix that's going to solve everything. But as you can see, complex problems a lot of times have multiple different root causes. And here's what I want you to understand is if there is that smoking gun, let's say there is. Normally there's not. Let's say there is that smoking gun. If there is that smoking gun, when you break down the problem and you solve for one, it will solve for the rest, because if there's a smoking gun, that means they have a common root cause issue. If they have a common root cause issue, you solve for that issue, it solves for the rest. So do not be afraid to break down that problem and go after it one piece of it at a time. In upcoming video, we'll go over step 4, identify and locate, and then move on to step 5, origin. We'll give an example of the 5 whys from there. But if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to be alerted when there's more videos coming out as we go through the 8 steps of problem solving, then hit the subscription button. And that's all I have today. Thanks for joining us on Origin Problem Solving.